All right. So obviously, I saw the last video talking about what happened to FNF, and obviously, like there was that whole stuff that was happening. Obviously, they weren't expecting to get a lot of money, and then obviously, the production was a bit wonky. They started giving off like points that they were gonna pull out for week 8, and then obviously some people wanted to be messed up and started showcasing what was gonna be for week 8, and then obviously the what's it called, the production that was working on it for week 8 decided to close the door and obviously not showcase it to anyone, and instead put it like a little construction post saying they're working on it, and they don't know when they're gonna drop it, and it still to this day has not dropped week 8. And obviously I was kind of excited to check it out. Like, I did not go with what the people were showcasing because I don't know if that was going to be implied to what the actual people wanted to put out, but I don't know. Like, this game has already gone for like 2 years, and basically like to the point that people were expecting like their rewards for donating to like the top tier in the Patreon. Like, they didn't even get that, like nothing like to get them going with the hype. Like, I feel like the hype rate has gone way, way, way down, and when it comes out, like, let's give the window of 1 year more, because I'm assuming like it takes 2 years to make like the whole game and everything else, like to get all the bugs and everything ready, and then upload or give it to everyone on the year after that. But they were so fumbling everywhere, like whether it was like talking about like their Patreon gifts, or whether it was like production of the game, or obviously like keeping in track with everyone. It just didn't go in a good route. Like, there's still mods going on from people, so obviously like the ones that are truly fans of it like can keep playing it. But as it was keep on going, yeah, it's been dying out, like the whole popularity, because obviously we had Spider-Man, we had God of War Ragnarok, we had Party Animals, which obviously I thought that was hilarious. We have Mario Wonder, all these other games that have been dropping, and they've been getting their popularity left and right. Mortal Kombat 1 also, like, it's been getting popularity. But like, if you go to like FNF, like on Twitch for like the category, it's like low with numbers. So obviously, let's see the real reason why it got disappeared. Maybe like there's more extra lore that I could take out.
The year is 2021. The streets of Tokyo are being ravaged by a large lizard and a giant gorilla.
Yeah, I remember
came
that.
to a grinding halt,
Which was
thanks
the
to this cargo ship getting prop stuck
Godzilla
in a
vs.
river
King Kong. That was a good movie for sure. Even though some people
over
didn't
here,
like it.
and all of us, we're all locked in our homes thanks to the virus that shall not be named, in fear this video being sent to the monetization hell. However, this virus, it wasn't the only thing that swept across the globe in the year of our Lord 2021. God no. There was something else taking the world by storm. A certain video game that can be described as an enigma. One of those lightning in a bottle games that's sort of rarely ever seen heights of popularity.
Tiger Player Searcher. Thank you for the follow, and welcome to the stream.
This video game all about a child
Hope you like my costume
with it that you can download straight over Newgrounds. You knew about it, I knew about it, the entire world knew about it. It was everywhere. YouTube, TikTok, mod pages, bootleg merch, Roblox, in-class talent shows.
Okay, when it comes to like the talent shows, like I didn't know about that, but I did know about the merch, and I saw it like on swap meets when I would like go to swap meets. I would see it definitely a lot on Roblox, and people were recommending me, oh, like go on Roblox and play FNF. It's so difficult on there, or obviously like play my mod. Like, I was getting mod recommendations like when I was doing those streams for it. And if you know, you are a true goat if you remember those days. Would I play like every mod that would like be coming out. Like, obviously like there were awesome ones like the Doki Doki Takeover, how it became, the Mario Madness, Hypno's Lullaby. Like, there's a whole bunch of other mods that were out there that were amazing, and I definitely loved it. Like, then people started going off with their ship posting ones, which obviously, if you know, the ship posting ones, how they became, like, yes, it's what's it called, it's a normal FNF mod with a character, but it just gets hilarious with the random sounds and everything that just goes on. And yeah, I definitely like saw that. Like I definitely saw that it was popular everywhere. And I think community game is still continuing like the mod showcases, which obviously like that is goated like for still playing the game, even though like the popularity for it has gone like so down for it because of like the whole situation, what's going on with it. And yeah, it sucks, but I haven't seen like videos of like people like doing this. Like I know that Five Nights at Freddy's with the popularity, like you have people like actually singing the songs. Like there was like that one kid that was like singing Five Nights at Freddy's, is it what you wanna be? Like I don't know the how song the song how it goes, but that's like how it went. And I remember that I saw that on TikTok, but I've never seen like people go with the beep bo 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 beep bo 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 like in school. That is crazy.
If you had eyes in your skull in 2021, at some point you would see some.
You remember playing the FNF Big Engine Brawl mod, and you were failing miserably and suffering at the confusion and delay song? Yeah, like there has been gimmicks and everything else. Like I definitely love the gimmicks that the game has brought. That was not part of the original ones, because obviously like there's the ones that saying, oh, like it's going up, it's going down, it's going left, it's going right, it's telling you to press these buttons, it's going to do this and that. Like it was giving you gimmicks from the people because they started learning and they started doing the coding and everything else. Like that was awesome. Like those types of mods actually went in that route. Like the Shaggy mod, like it's not saying, oh, it's not 4 keys anymore, now you have to do the ASDF JKL to literally go against him, the 6 keys, the 24 keys, like all these keys. Like it was everywhere, like with the gimmicks. But honestly, like I do love me some gimmicks mods, but not every time, because I actually want to relax and play the game, even though if it gets like a little bit intense. But
something about Friday Night Funkin'. It was inevitable. Thing is though, I really hate to be the bearer of bad news here, person watching this video, but it isn't 2021 anymore.
It's 2023.
Nah, it's 2023. And if you know anything about the Friday Night Funkin' lore and game theory, I'm pretty damn sure you know that Friday Night Funkin' seemingly vanished. So,
yeah.
In this video, you and me, we're gonna try to figure out why. It's time to find out what in the name of all that's holy happened to Friday Night Funkin'.
Alright, here we go.
But first, you see that big red subscribe button down there? I think you should click on it and join my Discord server. Please, seeing numbers go up fills my life with meaning. Now, before diving headfirst into the vast, widened Friday night,
is it too soon to make that joke?
To thinner game theory ocean.
Yeah, like, is it too soon to make that joke?
Question here, person watching this video. Friday Night Funkin', we all know that it was popular, knowing that it's all good and all, but
yeah,
why was it so popular? Look, I know, trust me, I
the
really,
beats,
really do. Why something
the
gets
lore,
popular, that's a
the
really
mods.
loaded question.
There's a lot of reasons why.
Answers depending on who's answering it. But I reckon it's a question that needs to be asked when talking about a game as popular as Friday Night Funkin'.
So you're saying the Shaggy mod really went, you thought this mod would be easy? Here, have 9 keys you have to use. Yeah, like I was like assuming that mod was gonna be like small and like, oh, the 4 keys, like, oh, I could do it. Like even though if it got a little bit more faster with that other song from the first week, I was assuming that I was gonna do it. Like I was gonna be able to do it. But once you finish that one, which is going very fast, it tells you, oh, now there's a gimmick. I can't do it. I can't do the gimmick. Even to this day.
After all, you rarely ever see games get this popular. So,
True.
to answer this question, let's teleport all the way back to 2021. While it doesn't really seem that far away, like it's only 2 years ago, 2 years.
I'm assuming I'm probably gonna come back to play this, but week 2 and the Shaggy mod, but
so different.
I don't know
compared
where.
To what they're like
to
right
where
now
I'm gonna go with the Shaggy
in this
mod.
current moment of existence. Back then, it was the middle of lockdown. We were all locked in our homes. We couldn't really go outside all that much. We couldn't touch grass, which isn't a new thing, but the point still stands. For the most part, all that we could do was watch some random show on Soap Today, or read a book, or spread misinformation and lie on the internet, or play video games. And
yeah, like that is true. I will give this person credit, saying that obviously like when it came to that point where we were just like locked in and everything else, like oh crap, why the hell did I do that? there would be like those games that we would play amongst friends, like on the Discord call. Like I remember like playing a whole bunch Among Us because there was nothing to do, and obviously like that was like the game that brought everyone together via Discord call. Because yeah, like you couldn't go outside because of the regulations that were going on and everything else. Like FNF, I don't even know if it was just because of that. Like I just remember that a lot of people were playing and saying that it was like awesome, and then I just went with the idea saying, huh, maybe I should join in and see what this whole hype is about, and I ended up liking it. So like there's different reasons for people when it was like coming to this game. And yeah, like I kind of felt that way. Like with Fall Guys, like I've only played this game like once or twice, and I don't even remember if I actually posted like the gameplay for it. But if I did, then that was like the only time I ever played it. And if I didn't, then I'm just giving you that answer. You joined the Discord? Nice.
It's from this environment that certain video games absolutely exploded. Microtransaction Tycoon, Eviction Simulator, actually really good, and a rhythm game. Yeah, that sounds kind of weird, right? You know, a rhythm game doing well when all of us are locked in our homes. Because I don't know about you, but me, sure, I may love rhythm games, but come on, I've been doing music for something like 13 odd years. I love this shit. But whenever I think of rhythm games, I usually think of somewhat niche games that involve people going to specific places, or games that require some quote-unquote specialized equipment that you need to scour the internet or
maybe
go
Guitar
to a
Hero
dodgy-looking shop to find. You know, if you want to play Dance Dance Revolution, you have to go to your local arcade. If you want to play Smoke on the Water over and over again, you need one of these. If you want to emote with Han Solo, you need to somehow source an Xbox Kinect camera. And genuinely, person watching this video, when's the last time a Match the Arrow to the song Rhythm Game's been relevant? So here we have a
like the last time I remember a rhythm game being relevant, it was Guitar Hero, because like I was during that era of Guitar Hero. And also, why am I buzzing? Like holy crap, like look at that, like my eyes are like buzzing away. And my eyes are not in the green screen. What the fuck? But yeah, like that's the only rhythm game that I could like actually recall. Like I didn't know anything about Osu. I didn't know like DDR that well. Like I've seen it like in cartoons or sometimes like movies, like when they were like showcasing it. But yeah, I didn't like know that. Like I was more akin to Guitar Hero, because obviously like it was fun. Like I remember playing it once and that shit was hard. And that's just my rabbit messing around with stuff.
Game that by all means shouldn't be that popular, doing crazy numbers. Why? Well, besides having more people at home, which almost guarantees a higher potential player base, I reckon that Friday Night Funkin's popularity, it's largely the result of accessibility. To play Friday Night Funkin', it's not like you need to move heaven and earth to find some random piece of equipment that stopped being produced in 2011, or fork over thousands of your shekels to build some NASA-grade gigacomputer. Nah, all you need is a computer that can run somewhat okay, one of these, and one of these. That's it. That's all you need. Yeah. Friday Night Funkin', its barrier to entry is ridiculously low that anybody can play it. And when you start playing it, let me tell you, as somebody who played FNF when it started to get really popular, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty damn fun.
It was.
and pretty damn hard. While, yeah, okay, sure, FNF's barrier to entry is like non-existent, it's got quite a bloody high skill ceiling. And as you progress through each week, oh my,
you would get like
so much more
kind
difficult.
of a lore, but not much.
Ooh, I need to press this button when this key goes over here so that the child can move to the mute. What the fuck? But I'll tell you what, I never really
I
felt
hated
like
that week when it was
getting
getting like intense.
When I played Friday Night Funkin'. I felt frustrated when I fucked up, like, oh my god, I really wanted to launch my keyboard through my monitor. But my mistakes, 99% of the time, they weren't the fault of the video game being weird or the video game fucking out. Nah, they were on me. Ah, yes, if it isn't the consequences of my own action.
The blue balls.
And every time I messed up, I wanted to play again and fix my mistakes. And do it again. And do it again.
Yeah, we already know where this route is going, so he would get pissed off like every single time. Like I also went through that same round where when it was Tank Man and I was like keep on playing it, I kept on getting mad and mad and mad to the point that I rage quit and lowered the difficulty.
And do it again, and again, and again, and again. Next thing you know, I couldn't stop playing Friday Night Funkin'. And I'm pretty damn sure I'm not alone in saying this. Thanks to FNF's low barrier to entry, its fun gameplay, unique art style, catchy, in big quotation marks, music, sense of wanting to get better and better, and a whole bunch of massive YouTubers making videos about it, a gigantic community formed around Friday Night Funkin'.
To be honest, I don't think I have any difficulty.
Hang on a minute, I know all of us, we just had a massive brain heart attack, aneurysm.
People's skills are different. I will give you that.
As soon as I mentioned the word community in the context of Friday Night Funkin', because some of the people in this community are very interesting. I can confirm that some of the stuff they've made, well, it does indeed exist. But moving all of this weird stuff to one side,
it was weird stuff like with the route.
There is a lot of it. I'm willing to bet I could do a sub 5-second FNF NSFW image speedrun. But moving all of that weird shit over here for a second, I'm not gonna lie. Some of the stuff this community's created, it is kind of cool. Especially some of the mods that were created for Friday Night Funkin'. If anything, Friday Night Funkin' mods, they were the main thing keeping this game going after the initial hype wave died down. Really talented people created all
oh crap, it's a
sorts
bot.
of different custom weeks for
We
this
have a
game,
bot.
including a whole bunch of different characters from all corners of the internet. Sonic
I thought it was like a
Hedgehog,
person
Tricky from the Madness
giving
Combat
like that
series,
whole
William Afton.
what's
and
it called?
Some of the videos showcasing these mods, they got millions of views. Just
that
look
whole
at this.
talk, but it's more
Look how many views
bot.
that is.
Great.
So, taking all of these different things and combining and mashing and blending them all together. Low barrier to entry, everybody being at home, fun gameplay, mods, massive YouTubers making videos, the sense of wanting to get better, all of that type of shit. The result is a game that went nuclear. So much so that when the devs of this game, a group called the Funkin' Crew Incorporated, keep this name in your brain, announced to the world that they wanted to take FNF to the next level, but needed a bit of cash cheese money to do so, their Kickstarter campaign raised over $2 million. People all over this planet we call home were super hyped to see what the future FNF looked like.
Yeah, and obviously, like, they went with that whole stance of, obviously, like, the person's gonna explain it with the goals, if you actually manage to get everything, and they have done it. They really wanted to see everything. They wanted to see the erect difficulty. They wanted to see all these levels, all these weeks, all these cutscenes, and everything else. But obviously, getting all that overwhelming hype for it was too much for them.
No wonder they were hyped. Look at all the stuff being promised. Online multiplayer, cutscenes, custom characters, a shit ton of new weeks.
Yeah.
But then, nothing.
Yep.
Nothing happened. And here we are today, a few years later, and nobody knows when or if this promised version of Friday Night Funkin' is ever going to be released. Which leads us quite nicely into my first game theory, all about what I think happened to Friday Night Funkin'.
Let's see the game theories. Games take time, bro.
Okay. What I'm not going to do is sit back in my chair over here and pretend that I'm some Oppenheimer, Einstein level IQ genius when it comes to the field of how to make an video game. The extent of my video game creation knowledge is subjecting this small little funny looking man to horrors beyond his mortal comprehension and making really broken Geometry Dash custom levels when I was like 11. Other than that though, I'm dumb. I'm stupid.
Oh yeah, also Geometry Dash 2.0 is coming. That's going to be awesome.
One thing. What I do know about making games is that if you want to make something good, it takes time. The saying, a delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is forever bad, exists for a reason.
That is true. I will give him that. DJ Khaled those points. I don't even know if it was even him that said that. But yeah, when it comes to a delayed game, it gets good. Because we have been seeing that with rush games, they have been very, 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 very bad. They're saying that Mortal Kombat 1 is the one of them, and I understand that. Like, a lot of people were hyping it up for it, and yeah, like they were saying, dude, it's been almost 5 years and we haven't even gotten the next game. We didn't get the next Injustice. We didn't get the next Mortal Kombat. Where is it? And then they announced it, and they gave that window saying that it was gonna drop the same day that they were gonna announce, like the announcing year was coming. They gave it. And honestly, like, my thoughts that were that it was amazing. Like, yes, there were some bugs with it, like, and then when it comes to like the whole gameplay aspect of it, like, I definitely love the towers and seeing like their stories. I definitely love the story mode. I definitely love invasions mode. But like, when it comes to like when you finish invasions mode, like, there's nothing else. Like, it just gets boring, and people wanted more. Like, they wanted to play at least the emulator for all Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3. That way it kills the boringness of the game. And then obviously we had what's it called, we had fun seasonal towers, because like the seasonal towers over there, like in Mortal Kombat 1, I don't like it. Like, I remember that I played it offline and I did the seasonal tower, and it says it had like 20 towers, because it was a fight, test your might, a fight, survive, fight, do all this. Like, it was going into that route, and it just got boring. Like, it started getting intense. I started getting mad about it. Even if I lost, that was it. And I was like, gosh, I don't like this at all. And obviously, like, a delayed game, it gives it time. Like, obviously Cyberpunk was not a good reference to it. Like, I was gonna think about that one, but now that I thought about it, because they also mentioned it like 10 years ago, if I could remember. They said that they announced it 10 years ago that they were gonna make that game. Then it came to the point of they showcased it again, and then they pulled it out, and a lot of people were disappointed of it for the quality of it. And then now, into the point that we could say today, it has gotten better. So obviously a delayed game, it has its shortcomings as well, but it all just depends.
You think you can pump out an amazing game that lives up to and surpasses hype in something like like a week? You got another thing coming, mate. That's a one-way street to getting obliterated in the Steam reviews.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, like, with obviously the community of the mod community, like, they literally went to the points of, like, they gave like their weeks, and obviously people loved it. And if people loved it, they kept on improving it, improving the art style, improving the mechanics, improving everything, the lore. And they started doing that, like, as they were getting their feedback. Like, here, like, we would be expected a week 8 with Pico and what was gonna go on. Like, that's what I recall, that it was gonna be a Pico week. And we never got that, because people wanted, like, they already showcased it to everyone, because I don't know how they got the files for it, but they were saying that they got the files and they uploaded it and they made their own version of it. And people said that, yeah, this is literally week 8 that we were convinced that we were gonna get, but it didn't happen.
Good shit, it takes time, especially if you're a small development team. Remember how a few minutes ago I told you to keep the name The Funkin' Crew Incorporated up here in your brain? Here's why. Here's some lore for you. Funkin' Crew Incorporated are Friday Night Funkin's development team. And this team, it consists of 4 people: Ninja Muffin 99, Phantom Arcade, Kawaii Sprite, and Evil Skater. Classic indie game development studio type beat. And hell, side note here, Friday Night Funkin', I reckon that it's pretty admirable that this game even came into existence in the first place. Plain and simple, FNF, it was the product of a 48-hour indie game jam called Ludum Dare. A 48-hour indie game jam, for those of you who don't know, it's a type of competition where a bunch of indie game studios all come together and have 48 hours to create something. Game. In this game jam, FNF's development team created a prototype version of Friday Night Funkin'. And
it was funny
because it was so well received that they didn't win. But hey, just like the person who comes second in Britain's Got Talent, FNF and the Funkin' Crew, they went on to have a much more popular career than anybody else in the competition. Back on track though, I'm not gonna lie here. To say that what the Funkin' Crew have planned for the future of Friday Night Funkin' is ambitious, I think that's one of the biggest understatements ever uttered in human history. Just look at some of this shit being promised. Look at it. Like, really look at it. It's insanely ambitious.
Yeah, I was gonna pause it, like, to showcase it to you guys. Like, that was a lot of stuff that they were promising. Like, they were saying 60 songs, 20 weeks, all this other stuff, like the collaborations, like your character could be in the game, in the background, and everything else. Like, there's a lot of stuff that they're gonna push in. But honestly, like, I feel like if they had a big set of people working on this, then obviously it must have been that.
Even too ambitious. Now, I don't want you to get me wrong, having goals and dreams and ambitions, all of that type of stuff, it's all really good, yeah, you know, we all have goals. I have them, you have them, everybody has them. Wanting to achieve certain things in your life, yeah, it's a good thing. Like, yay, goals and achieving things. But here's the thing with ambition, it needs to be realistic. Like, imagine if I sat here and
like
told you that over
much.
the span of the next, I don't know, week, I was gonna start 10 individual different YouTube channels and grow them to over 1 million subscribers overnight.
That's too much.
That's a really ambitious thing to say, but that's stupidly ambitious. That's never gonna happen. Like never ever. That's never gonna happen. And I don't know, man, I hate to be this guy. I really, really do. But looking at some of the stuff being promised in this Kickstarter campaign,
it's not gonna happen.
It's all really cool. But I can't help but think that the Funkin' crew
have a lot.
They may have promised a bit too much. They're a team of 4 people after all. 4! And developing and creating all of this stuff. Online multiplayer, fully animated cutscenes, a bunch of playable characters, tons of different weeks. No wonder it's taken over 2 years.
Yeah, but like obviously, like I'm saying, like there's the alternative route where obviously they could get people to work together, because obviously there are people in the mod community that have been doing a great, and I say a great amount of work when it comes to like their mods. Like they're like I forgot like what crew it was that worked on that one mod that I was playing, and I definitely loved like how their process went. Like the story wise was good. Like they also had like their dialogue, they had like their, what's it called, the whole process of like making like a full-fledged feeling type of game like FNF. Like I feel like they should like work with people from the mod community that have gone beyond and know how to like make this game well. Work out with them, and you will see that game will be full-fledged and ready to go, and they'll be paid what's amounted, because obviously that they got 2 million. So obviously they could stretch out help for people instead of just being all like, what's it called, confused on what to do. Like if they want more people, they could get more people. Like they got enough money for it, like to give compensation to those people to help them out and get this game out faster, and then earn more money making stuff later on. But honestly, it all just depends on the Funkin' crew and how they want to go with their process of this game. But honestly, there's hopes. Like how people are saying there's hopes. There's aspirations that this game could get finished and released hopefully next year or the year after. But when it comes to like the ambitions that they were giving off, like maybe they might tone it down. Who knows?
As is to create 1 week in Friday Night Funkin'. From what I've been able to work out, you need to make 3 different songs, sync these songs up to the corresponding arrows, draw multiple different versions of characters so that they can move around properly, draw backgrounds, animate these
I'm telling you,
backgrounds.
like
it's a shit ton of work.
The
Now
mod community have done it.
All of this other stuff, yeah, that's a lot. Like that's a lot, like a lot. Oh, and one more thing, the final product, you better make sure it lives up to fan hype. I think it's pretty safe to say that the FNF community, they've got really bloody high expectations about the future Friday Night Funkin'. Come on, bro, this game raised over $2 million.
I'm telling you.
$2 million. But even more so, look at some of these mods. Some of them, they're straight up better than what's found in the base game. So now, imagine for a second that sometime in the future, FNF, the full-ass game, finally releases into our world, and it's mid. The community mods are still yards better. Plain and simple, that's just not acceptable. The final version of FNF, it has to be better than these community mods. These community mods, they've set the bar for what FNF fans want to see, and it's a bloody high bar. So, once again, if you mix in this characteristic with the fact that this game is being developed by a small 4-man indie team, of course it's gonna take time to make. And it's not like the Funkin' crew can just not commit to making some of the stuff they promised to make in their Kickstarter roadmap donation goal image thing. Nah, God no, they have to deliver on everything they promised. And since it's a shit ton of stuff, no wonder it's taking time. But still, I can't really blame people for getting annoyed, like frustrated, pissed off that this game that it's taken so long to make. It's 2 years, like 2 years. That's 365 times 2. That's a shit ton of time to wait for something, especially when you put money into that thing. It's understandable. You're allowed to be pissed off. I get it. And this is where we move on from our first "What happened to Friday Night Funkin'? Why did it disappear?" game theory.
Okay, obviously, I'm pausing on this character because they already fan service the fuck out of her. But where was I gonna go with this? That yes, it is frustrating when it comes to the point of already putting money into a game that what's it called? What's different? It's different from an actual game that is developed by a big company. Like give Mortal Kombat for like a reason that it took 4 years, like a whip span of 4 years, almost 5 years to get the next game, which was gonna be Mortal Kombat 1. And a lot of people were waiting on it. They were anticipating because obviously the what's it called? The hype for Mortal Kombat 11 has died out, and people were already speculating like they wanted to see which one was going to be the next game based from like the creators' teases, whether it's going to be it's going to be Injustice 3. Like we have this reason, this reason, this reason. Oh, it's going to be Mortal Kombat 12 because this reason, this reason, this reason. Like they're going with that stance. And it's a lot more different when it comes to that type of waiting and hype that we would get in a whip span of those 4 years to get this game. In here, it's a lot more different because obviously it's a Patreon where obviously it gives you the rewards that you go depending on the tier you go. Like I remember that in the tier for like the highest one they had, like they said they're gonna put you in the game. They would give you the CD for the music that they were gonna drop for this, maybe some art, and people were waiting on the disc for the music so they could at least like hear the music and understand like the hype for it and just how amazing it's gonna be. But they didn't get that because there was a situation from, if you've seen the last video that I checked about this whole situation, they were saying that they didn't give the art on the deadline for it, and also I think the music didn't come in as well. Like they wanted the art style for it and it didn't happen, so therefore people weren't able to get their copy of it. So that's what sucked. And yeah,
and into the second.
LMAO gets scammed.
You see, while lots of people have just said game development takes time when the conversation about why Friday Night Funkin' is taking so long to make comes up, others have said that they feel like this whole thing may have just been one big scam. The Funkin' crew, they may have just taken the money and done a runner. Now, before going into this section,
yeah, like that's what people are saying. And in the other video, like they were also going with that fact that literally like they made that promise and they're just gonna run away with it. Like a lot of people have done that when it comes to like the GoFundMe's that they were like say, oh, I need money for this because I need this, and they leave with that money. And they don't even give like a follow-up for like what happened that they needed the money. And there are people that now that actually do need the money for the GoFundMe, and it just doesn't go out because now there's people that are getting that sense that they're that insecurity that they don't want to give the money. So it's gonna be the same thing with this whole game. Like if they end up saying, oh, we scammed you guys, we're sorry, we're not gonna give you the full game, they're gonna have that insecurity later on that if there's an indie game from this company, this small little company of people, they're gonna have doubts of giving money to that.
All about scamming and lying on the internet, my favorite thing to do. I do just want to preface it by saying that I really, really hope this isn't the case. And if I'm being completely honest, I do really doubt it is. But I would hate to find out that, the Lamau gets scammed and here is the answer to why FNF hasn't come out yet. As I said though, I do highly doubt that the Funkin' crew are a bunch of elaborate megamind scammers. But hey, I guess it is still a possibility at the end of the day. day.
True.
And you know what? For the sake of the argument, let's imagine here for a second that, yeah, okay, it's true. The thousands of people who believe this on the internet, well done, you're right. The Funkin' Crew, they are just a bunch of no-good scumbag scammers who created some elaborate, please give us Mr. Beast level money, we promise we'll work on the game, ruse that managed to somehow raise over 2 million shekels. First of all,
True.
jumping all the way over here, straight to the end of the game theory. What does this mean for the future of Friday Night Funkin'? Dumb question. You know the answer. Rest in peace, Friday Night Funkin', cry some more. But rewinding a bit, if this whole thing was a scam, why would the Funkin' Crew want to create this scam in the first place? Well,
True.
it's quite obvious, isn't it?
Money.
I don't know
Money.
about you, but me, I love money. And for people all over this planet we call home, regardless of intention, making a shit ton of money, that's a massive motivator for them. However, when the discussion of how to make money comes up, sure, there are quite a few ways to make a lot of money ethically, but in contrast, there are also a lot of ways to make money unethically. One of these
True.
ways is to scam people. People have been scamming for years. From 300 BC, when a bloke got Hegestrassel sunk his boat to collect some insurance money, all
What?
the way to nowadays, where a bunch of arseholes try to take $2,000 worth of Amazon gift cards from your grandmother and anything Logan Paul touches. You can
True.
make a shit ton of money off of scamming people. And you can do it pretty damn quick. So, obviously, if the Funkin' Crew plan to scam people going into developing their fun little indie rhythm game, yeah, I'd call that mission accomplished. $2 million. But enough talking about the end goal of scamming. It's to make money. We all know that. I reckon that a better question to ask is why people think FNF is one massive scam. Wherever you search up FNF online, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, you will find somebody talking about how, ooh, FNF is a scam, they took the money and ran. From what I've been able to work out after digging into the cesspool known as the Friday Night Funkin' side of the internet, trust me, it's even worse than it sounds. When the topic of how this game is a scam comes up, there are a few main talking points. Firstly, the game taking a long time to make. Secondly, substantial updates being pretty few and far between. Thirdly, FNF backer rewards not shipping to people. And fourthly, the seemingly lax approach the Funkin' Crew take in their announcements.
Yeah, like that does make those 4 points being that, oh, it could be a scam because one, like going with the game taking too long. And like I'm telling you, it's a lot more different when it comes to like the Patreon style because like you're getting rewards, and that follows up with the backer rewards not being shipped. Like I'm telling you, like how like that whole situation going on with like people would have gotten the CDs for it if they got the cover on time, but they didn't get the cover on time, meaning that the CDs weren't made, and also the art for it has just not been done, and it's just in limbo right now. Also, the second one being the infrequent updates, like like how from the other video, like they were saying, oh, we're developing on this, but we don't know when, and we don't know how this whole situation is going. And it was the same thing with week 8 when people started showcasing their own version of how week 8's gonna be, and it turns out to be almost similar to the creators' actual work of it. They also did that little update saying, oh, in construction, we don't know when week 8's gonna drop in, but definitely stay tuned for it. It's already been way too long that we haven't got an announcement. And also the lax announcement saying that we just never got a small little teaser of what to expect for this full game to come out. Like, we already saw the what's it called, the Patreon video saying that, oh, like, this is the boyfriend, this is girlfriend, this is the dad, if you want her, you gotta do this. And obviously, like, in the full ass game, you get to get all this, and obviously, like, that's all we got, like the announcement, support it, and we'll go from there. And we just never got anything in the span of those 2 years. Like, people were expecting, like, at least saying, we got this week done and we're working on the other one. We got this week done, we're working on the other one. Like, I feel like if people got that sense that like an update saying that, oh, they finished this week, yeah, hey yo, it's Mario, hey, created the mod, let's go, welcome to the stream, welcome. Talking about FNF wearing the Mario costume. But it's to me, Mario.
But for every point raised in favor of FNF being a scam, there are twice
FNF.
as many counterpoints that also get raised. The game taking a long time to make, games just take a long time to make, especially when all this shit needs
Like
to
I'm
be
telling
made
you,
by
Mortal
a team of
Kombat,
4 people.
4 years,
Substantial
almost 5
updates
years.
being few and far between, people will point you towards the Twitter accounts of the devs.
Like I'm
FNF
telling you.
back for rewards not shipping to people, here are people who have gotten their rewards.
Wait, there actually were people that got rewards? What?
FNF back
Hold
for
on.
rewards not shipping to people, here are people who have gotten their
Dude, like they were saying that this was gonna be the actual art for what's it called, the whole music CD. This looks amazing. What do you mean it's missing stuff and all this other stuff? No, it was actually good. This looks awesome. It gives you like the old style classic. If you were to watch this like in the 90s art, it gives me that kind of art that you would see like something from the 90s. Like this looks amazing. Like you have the detail here, FNF, the characters, everything. You even have this little code that would have been for the arcade machine. It looked amazing. And in the back, it was obviously the other side of the subway with the names of the songs. It was amazing. What do you mean? Like, someone explain to this. What do you mean that this was a bad art when I saw that other video that was like 9 months ago saying that, oh, it was bad? That's
rewards.
BS. That's
The
a whole
lax
bunch of
approach in
bullshit.
FNF announcements, it's just always been this way. And bro, if they're still making announcements, then something has to be in development. This whole thing is one gigantic clusterfuck. All it is people on the internet just screaming and getting angry at each other. With all that being said though, I think it's time to answer that golden question from the beginning of this video.
This one was fun. I just hated
It's time to find out
the
what
pendulum.
in the name of all that's holy happened to Friday Night Funkin'. Plain and simple, I don't think FNF is a scam. I don't think this game was some massive GTA 5 the Pacific Standard Job heist to steal money from people on the internet. However, what I do think is that everything promised in the Kickstarter campaign was
ambitious.
way too ambitious for a team of 4 people to undertake feasibly in a decent amount of time. And to deliver on everything,
It has a
because that's
robust
what they're
mod support,
obligated
so
to do. People paid money to see all this stuff. No wonder it's taken so much time, and it's going to continue to take time. Do I think Friday Night Funkin', the full-ass game, will eventually come out, though? Yeah.
Yes.
I do. Just
What
not in
time?
the next couple of months or years even.
Anyone
And
remember
will it live
how
up
Witty used to be the hardest
expectations?
mod? Ah, the memories.
Huh.
Yeah, that mod was
know.
actually hard back in the
Guess time
day.
will tell. And, with that,
And then
you
it
and
became
me,
Shaggy,
we made it
and
to
then
the
it
end of this
became
video. If you're still listening
all these
to
other
the
characters
words
that have
coming out of
been
my mouth, thank you for sticking
coming
around,
out.
mate. Like, you've increased this video's watch time, which means I can make more money. Thank you. And while you're still listening to everything that's coming out of my mouth, why don't you go watch all of my other videos and all of their ads?
Then it became
So I can
Skibbity
raise
Funkin'.
$2 million. Thanks for watching. Go do all of the YouTuber like, subscribe, buzzword things, and I'll see you in the next video.
Number 15. Subscribe to the Beak. If you
Oh my gosh. Okay, we're done. Obviously, shout out to the Beak for obviously this amazing compilation of like what to expect for the real reason why FNF has disappeared out of existence. And obviously it goes with the same stance from that other video that I watched 9 months ago, saying that like the lack of communication, also it was too ambitious, how like Beak was like talking about, saying that it was ambitious, and I do understand that. And obviously like the whole point of they're thinking that it was a scam. Yes, it did feel like a scam for a second, but then again, you gotta realize that this is not the companies that you would expect for all these games that would be all overly like great, like I'm saying, Mortal Kombat, God of War, Cyberpunk, Call of Duty, all these other games. They take their time. They really take their time, because like how the Beak put in his video, a rush game always turns out bad, but a delayed game ends up being good. And one example, and for sure like people are gonna be roasting me about it, is Cyberpunk. It got announced 10 years ago. We got the small little teaser saying it was dropping. The day that it dropped, people started saying that it sucked because of the hardware and everything that was going on with it, glitches, whatever you want to call it. few months after that, they made patches and everything. Now they're saying that it's amazing. Now with the DLC that came in not that long back, they said that it's amazing and they loved it. That's what I'm saying. Like, a delayed game really takes time to become amazing, and obviously that's what's awesome about it, that a delayed game could be fun. So obviously this game could be very fun, but like how Beak was saying, if it doesn't reach to the point of hype from like the mods have been doing, yeah, it's gonna suck. But honestly, I still appreciate it. I appreciated the game even when it began, to the point where they started going with the whole bunch of mods. Real. Yeah. Like, I appreciate the game. Like, even though there's some mods that are just amazing, nothing beats the original. And that is a fact.